from America's finest city, San Diego. Beautiful downtown San Diego is where we're at today for Ryan Garcia's media workout. Ryan making San Diego his base for this fight. He's getting ready for a showdown May 2nd. There you see the beautiful Coronado Bridge. Ryan lives in that area, so he's coming across the bridge to get his workout in. Fatal Fury City of Wolves is Ring Magazine's inaugural American event. Never before seen night of boxing in this spectacular setting in the heart of Manhattan, Friday, May 2nd. There'll be 4 incredible fights, including Teofimo Lopez against Arnold Barbosa, Devin Haney, Jose Ramirez, Ryan Garcia, and Rolly Romero. It's being brought to you by Ring Magazine, SNK Corporation, the publisher of the famous video fighting game Fatal Fury City of Wolves, Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, Bob Arum of Top Rank, and Tom Brown of TGB Promotions. Broadcast live exclusively on DAZN worldwide. All right, San Diego is where we're at. I'm Ben Durant alongside former world champion Sergio Mora and the pride of Philly, Puerto Rico zone, the people's champ Gabriel Rosado. Got a couple podcast hosts, Mi Gallo podcast, and then now the new one, Fighter and the Writer podcast with Mannix. Oh, you guys are busy. You guys are ready to talk about Ryan, but you guys are busy in the boxing game.
No, man, it's fun, man. Me and Abdamada's having fun with it, man.
I was surprised Gabe could speak Spanish. I'm very surprised. I thought he was a pocho from Philly, but he could speak Spanish, so I'm very impressed.
Wait till you go to Puerto Rico with Gabriel Rosado. You don't know what language he's speaking right there, because he's the mayor of San Juan. Let me give you the breakdown of how it's going to work out today. So Ryan Garcia is moments away from showing up here in San Diego where he's doing his camp. He actually works out in this gym with Derek James. So we'll be talking with Ryan. He's going to be doing his media workout. He'll be talking to members of the media that have assembled. He'll be doing some shadow boxing. He'll get in the ring. And we haven't talked to Ryan in a while, so it seems like he's in a different mode with him from last year when he was fighting against Devin Haney. Remember we were there in New York and it was, what Ryan are we going to show up? What a difference a year makes, Sergio.
Hey, listen, man, I thought he was playing the crowd. Honestly, this kid, it was just
you were
a
saying
showman.
That a lot, yeah.
He was just a showman, man. He was like Kaiser Soze in The Usual Suspects. Like, that wasn't him. He was just showing in front. And he did his thing. But obviously, afterwards, he was overweight, the PED allegations. But now it's time for him to rehabilitate his image and come back and say, I can do that on an even playing field on my weight. If he can do that, Ryan Garcia's back.
And Gabe, he was suspended for those PEDs that he popped for. So it's been a year with inactivity. But it seems like Ryan Garcia doesn't go anywhere. The people will ask you, oh, when's Ryan's fighting? When's Ryan's fighting?
Yeah, man, boxing needs Ryan Garcia.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Not only he's entertaining outside of the ring, but inside of the ring is fire. You know, that left hook is too fast, too strong, and not too many guys can handle that hook.
And Sergio, you've known Ryan since he was coming up, and we saw this kid on social media. He became the first social media fighter. I'm not saying he's an influencer fighter. I'm just saying he knew how to work the social media game. This kid has never fought for a world title, never been a champion, yet everybody has their eyes on him. Why is he so electric?
Well, listen, he has the hooks and the looks, like I like to say, but he also has the following. And when you have that social media following, you can monetize off that. So this is the new world we're living in, you know, YouTube, social media. And we were just talking about it, me and Gabe right now, because he was on his Instagram posting stuff. I'm like, that's not me, but that's how these new kids are doing this, new generation. And they're building a mass following and cashing off it. Ryan Garcia is one of the few to do that, and he's done it in an expert way.
And at the end of the day, though, Gabe, if you don't perform in the ring, nobody cares how many followers you have.
I know, for sure, man. That's one thing. He knows how to capitalize off the social media. He's like the originator of it, man. He started it, and you see all the fighters are trying to kind of follow that trend now, man. But, you know, Ryan's just a special fighter. He talks the talk, but he backs it up.
And Sergio, back when you were on The Contender, was it more than 20 years ago?
Don't age me out there. Well, yes, it's going to be 20 years in May.
20 years in May to be exact. It's like, even
20 years.
The building that you won your title in doesn't even exist anymore name-wise. The Staples Center is now Crypto.com. So yes, I'm going to age you right now. I got to act like Maddox a little bit. I got to give it a look. Here it is. But you knew to get the exposure and fighting for opportunities to get there, any opportunity that you can have. So when the sport is taken away from you, like Ryan for the last year because the suspension hasn't been in there, what's it like for a fighter when you haven't fought?
You know, I was a victim of inactivity because of that contract contender that I had. We only fought once a year, and it gets to you, no matter how young you are. When you have speed and power like Ryan Garcia, then you can come back faster than most. But when you don't, like myself, then it ages you. You're not good. You rely on your legs. So inactivity could really, really harm a fighter, especially when you're in that age in your mid-20s like Ryan is, where he already knows that he can be inactive, come back and knock out somebody. Yeah. That's not always going to be the case when you start getting into your late 20s and early 30s.
That night in Brooklyn, Devin Haney was the favorite. Devin Haney was the one everybody was there for. Like, he was the people's champ that night because people wanted to see Ryan lose, right? People were just tired of Ryan's antics. And Ryan shut up and put on a show, Gabe.
Yeah. But, you know, I think he actually stole the show. The fans kind of switched once they saw Ryan put on the kind of performance he was putting on, which he surprised me.
Right.
I thought Haney was locked in. I thought that Ryan, his antics were probably going to throw him off and he was going to be distracted. But he played us all, man, and he put on a great performance.
Yeah, and just completely domination of that fight, Sergio. You were right there ringside.
I was ringside. I was calling it. And here's the thing. Yes, it was domination. That's what we're seeing. We continue seeing Devin Haney going down over and over and over again. But Devin Haney was winning the rounds.
Yes.
So the rounds he was winning, he was getting dropped. So they weren't really 10-8 rounds. It was a very difficult fight to score. But if you count round by round, Devin Haney won more rounds. The fact that he didn't have the power to capitalize and get any knockdowns himself, that was a difference in this fight. It's a shame that it got marred by what happened afterwards, but here we are again. Redemption is what we're looking forward to.
The whole week where Ryan missed the weight, then the PD afterwards, the lawsuits back and forth. Sergio, you saw with your partner right here, Gabe Rosado, was him and Bill Haney going back and forth. You guys are best
we're
friends
just talking
now.
about that.
Yeah, man.
It doesn't go away.
No, you know, listen, I don't think you can take that away from Ryan, even though they reversed the decision and now Haney's back to being undefeated. Look, and the world saw it. No matter what, PEDs, no PEDs, it don't matter. The world saw that whooping, and you can't take that back. So I think it didn't take away from Ryan. I think the one that really came out worse was Haney. You know, with the criticism and the lawsuits and things like that, I think it just worked against Haney more than it did for Ryan.
And we're going to see Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, Arnold Barboza, Rollies, Ryan, and that'll be Times Square. I know you work some crazy places, Sergio. I mean, when you're coming up as a broadcaster, as a fighter, you might end up, you're like, wait a minute, am I in a bull ring in Aguascalientes? What am I doing here? But Times Square, so just imagine this, where they do the ball drop on New Year's Eve, that's where they're going to put the ring in. That's where the fights are going to be at. Jim Lampley's going to be on the broadcast because, Sergio, you're going to be somewhere around the world because it's a busy weekend for DAZN that weekend because you have Ryan, you have Canelo, you have so many things going on. But when they announced it, Times Square, I'm like, okay, where? Like by Madison Square Garden, right? Like, no, Times Square, in the freaking square, Sergio.
No, you gotta really applaud Turki Al-Sheikh and his vision. He wants these fights to be in landmarks that are recognized all over the world. He talks about Times Square, he talks about Alcatraz, he talks about the pyramids. Who knows what else? A cenote in Mexico one of these days. But it's going to be amazing because we went there for the press conference and you see it right in the middle. I mean, everyone knows that. I mean, it's familiar for the ball drop and New Year's Eve. So everyone around the world knows what Times Square is about now. Instead of the ball dropping, it's going to be fist flying.
There's going to be 4 fights total. 3 of them are going to be there for you, open to the public. I don't know all the details because I know if I even got the details, I probably wouldn't believe it, Gabe. I mean, you've had some street fights, but these dudes are literally fighting in the streets.
No, man, it's crazy. And the thing is that each fight, it's a main event in itself. You know what I mean? It's stacked. So it's unbelievable that this is happening in Times Square. It's crazy. That budget is insane.
Is there a slot on the undercard?
That's the thing. There are no undercards. It's just these fights, that's it. So people are like, oh, what's the undercard? No. It's just these 4 fights. Of course, the main event going to be Ryan Garcia. So it's open to the public. So, like, you're just walking down Times Square, which is, we've all done it. It's crazy the first time you go. And then all of a sudden you're going to look up and there's a ring there. Like, like, what is this? This is crazy.
You know, it's going to be great to see how much those hotel rooms nearby are going to be going for. And they're going to be just out the window. They're going to have a bird's eye view of one of the best events in boxing history. But I'm curious to see what dignitaries are going to be there. It's only going to be a certain amount of people that are going to be ringside and seats available. But think about all the rooms and all the buildings. And then the monitors, the big, oh, man, I can't wait. It's going to be something special.
And it's, like you said, every single fight is a main event because Haney, right? Teofimo, Arnold, Jose Ramirez. Like, which is the fight for you, Gabe, that you're like, okay, I want to see this one?
Man, honestly, they're all equally matched. I'm very interested in all these fights because, you know, with Barboza and Teal, you know, Teal's been inactive. And Teal's a fighter that he needs rhythm because he fights off speed and, you know, he's unorthodox. So would that play against him? And Barboza's on a roll right now, man. And then you got Haney and,
Jose Ramirez.
Yeah, and Ramirez.
But this is the one that, I mean, the press conference, you guys were there.
No, look, man.
These guys are going.
Beto, on paper, this is the best fight on the card. On
for
paper.
sure.
You know, the other ones you could tell, you know, there's going to be a favorite. But this right here is a 50-50 fight.
And it's personal.
And it's personal. And it's the fact that Barboza has momentum. He has the best wins of his career coming. He's going everywhere, being a road warrior, taking their straps like he did in the UK, and now he's going to do it with Teofimo.
He also beat Jose Ramirez, the fight where he was the underdog.
Sure.
Ramirez is taking on Devin Haney. That's an interesting one because we haven't seen Haney in the mix.
Yep, and it's like, how is Haney going to respond? You know, you just never know when a fighter goes through a beating that he took against Ryan. It's really hard for them to bounce back and be the same. So does he have the skills? Is he the better fighter on paper? He is, but we don't know where his mindset is at once Ramirez touches him, and Ramirez does have power. So how's that going to play out for Haney?
Haney moving to a new division, Haney is.
Going to a new division, but not only that, but Ramirez hasn't looked good in his last couple of fights. It's like he's been boxing for such a long time, a U.S. Olympian, a unified champion, and he has a lot of wear and tear on his body. But one fight, one night, if he can be great, this is a style that fits him perfectly against Devin Haney. Haney has questions to answer about his chin. Ramirez can punch. If Ramirez hydrates well, takes his camp serious, this is probably one of those fights. If there is an upset on the card, that's probably going to be it.
Well, you had Robert Garcia on your podcast, Gabe, and Robert very confident in his fighter.
Yeah, you know, he says that Ramirez is very hungry, that he got this opportunity. And one thing is that his last fight was Barboza, which almost has a similar style to Haney. So being the veteran that Ramirez is, and his corner, obviously, Robert, they can make adjustments. So it's kind of like the perfect fight to then go into the Haney fight.
Yeah, we're moments away from Ryan Garcia showing up here in San Diego. It's the Ryan Garcia Media Workout. Thanks for watching us wherever you may be around the world. Again, May 2nd, Times Square, you'll see Ryan Garcia against Rollies. And we haven't really talked about Rollies much because Rollies, I was expecting the press conference to be out of control because Rollies probably one of my best trash talkers in the boxing world right now, but he was very subdued, Sergio. You were there for that.
That's what happens when you get knocked out. You know, he's been knocked out twice, Pitbull and Tank, and brutally. So when that happens, you start questioning your confidence, your power. But the thing about Rolly Romero, he needs to find that confidence. He needs to be a gunslinger. He can't be the fighter that he was in his last fight against Jaimez. That guy I didn't recognize. He wasn't slinging that power. He wasn't that Ricardo Mayorga type where he was just throwing caution to the wind. That's what we need to see if he's going to be Ryan Garcia. If we see a version of Jaimez, Ryan Garcia is just, it's not going to be good for him.
Yeah.
And these two have history because remember they've all sparred back in the day. They've been since amateurs. They've known each other. Rolly's being in Vegas, Ryan in Victorville. Like you see how much bigger Ryan is as he's growing into his body. Rolly's is right there, but you're right, Sergio. He didn't look as confident, but when you get in the ring, he still has the ability to maybe shock somebody.
He has the ability, but I'm telling you, he needs that chip on his shoulder. He needs to be himself again because if he's just going to be a quiet guy, then Ryan Garcia is going to outdo him inside and outside the ring. Look, Ryan's bigger, faster, stronger, more popular. He carries a promotion. Rolly needs to understand that I've been here before. I know how to talk trash against the Tanks and everyone else in the world. If he can bring that chapter, make it exciting, get under the skin of Ryan Garcia, then inside the ring, the man has power. Romero has power. He has the experience now. If he can sling those hooks like he was before those knockouts, Ryan Garcia's going to have his hands full.
Have you ever fought in New York?
I did, man. I did. I fought twice in New York. Yeah,
This is
back in the HBO days.
Now we're showing your gauge. But there's an energy in New York City,
man.
no matter what.
It's my favorite place to fight. I mean, the atmosphere is crazy. You already know how New Yorkers are. They're gonna scream. They're gonna yell insults, or they're gonna cheers.
And that's before the fight starts.
Yeah, man. So New York is a big atmosphere as far as when it comes to boxing. It's a boxing city.
And Sergio, we're talking about Turki Al-Sheikh, where he wants to take fights all over the world. You've been going to Saudi Arabia a lot to do fights out there. Now you're hearing, okay, it's going to be New York City, it's going to be Alcatraz, wherever it may be. The emergence of where boxing is now from was a couple years ago. Heck, when even DAZN started, it was like, we were going to Vegas and that's it, rinse and repeat. Now it's, I even asked you this before we even started. Sergio, where are you going to be that weekend? I don't know. It could be all over the world. It's cool where the sport of boxing is going right now.
Yeah, and we needed an influx of money, and we needed a big boxing fan. So the fact that the Saudis and His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh is actually investing in the sport, making the best fight the best, no matter what the promoter is, money solves all that. So fighters want to fight the best. We're prize fighters. So you put up the prize, we're going to fight, and that's what we're seeing now. And the fact that he wants it to be in certain locations where there hasn't been boxing, I mean, that's a vision. It's very difficult to do, but that's a vision that everyone's excited about.
Now, both of you know all about this, where you're with a promoter, and like, I want to fight him. Oh, but this promoter's not going to let me. Oh, that's not going to happen. It's not happening anymore, Gabe. It's, I want you, get out of the way.
No, for sure. Now we're seeing events where it's Matchroom, Golden Boy, Top Rank, PBC, and that's great for the sport, man. All these fights now can be made because Turki Al-Sheikh is making it happen. So it's great for boxing. Even Frank Warren's in the mix, so it's very great.
Well, that weekend in Times Square, you're going to have Top Rank represented, Golden Boy represented, Matchroom, PBC is going to be represented, Tom Brown. So there's so many people working together. At the end of the day, the fans are the ones that benefit from this, Sergio, because I know when you do your podcast with Mannix or you do your podcast with Abner, you want to talk about fights, and it's no longer, well, we're not going to see it. Well, it's not going to happen. It's no longer the Floyd-Pacquiao days. Sergio.
Yeah, we don't hear that line. Oh, they're across the street.
That's what it was.
We don't work with them anymore. No more of that. It's not like those high school games anymore. It's like you want to fight him and he wants to fight you, and the best want to fight the best. All right, here's the money. We're going to make it happen. And that's boxing in its heyday, and that's what we're seeing now.
Well, we saw a tweet yesterday from Shakur Stevenson, said it was a misunderstanding with Turkey, and now he's ready to operate, right? He's ready to roll because at the end of the day, you're a prize fighter.
It's funny how big money changes minds.
That's Sergio Mora, Gabe Rosado, moments away from Ryan Garcia showing up. Now, let's go back to Ryan here. We've known him since he was a teenager, coming through where he's at. We forget how young he is, Gabe, because all what he's going up and down, like, because he's been in the limelight, he's been in trouble, he's been a good kid. Remember, he went from being the no tattoos kid, oh, he's going to be America's sweetheart, to all of a sudden he's tatted up, he's doing this, he's hanging out with everybody else. You forget how lonely it can be at the top, Gabe, because you know this, and both of you guys know this, once you get the money and the influx of people around you, but sometimes you forget the main thing. And he needs to focus on that, doesn't he?
Yeah, man. But you know, Ryan, he's a special kind of fighter, man. I feel that the way he behaved going into the Haney fight, we all thought that was bad for him, but he needs to be himself. I think as a trainer, you have to understand his personality and allow him to be Ryan as long as he's coming into the gym and he's putting the work, because he needs that edge to come into the ring and be a beast, you know. So I think his antics work for him. It's kind of like a Hector Camacho. Everybody thought he was wild and crazy, but then coming to the ring, he put on a spectacular performance. And that's just, that it doesn't work for all fighters, but I think Ryan, he needs to, you got to let him be himself. You got to let him be himself for him to perform at a high level.
Let him be himself, Sergio. For a fighter, is that good or bad?
Well, it's good now because I think he's mature.
It's bad for the long run. But
yeah, no, here's the thing, man. Here's the thing, Beth. I mean, I can't put myself in, I can't do it. I can't put myself in Ryan Garcia's shoes because, one, I'm not that good looking. Two, I'm not as rich as him. Three, I don't have his social media following. But there's a little...
But you're a fighter. You know, you've been to where he wants to be. He wants to fight for the title.
But I won a reality show that was seen by millions of people, and I had my little moment in the limelight, and I went crazy during that little moment in the limelight where I couldn't go anywhere without getting recognized, being invited to the Playboy Mansion, being invited by celebrities. It's a high. It's a high that we as fighters only get inside the ring. So you got to imagine this young 23, 24, 25-year-old kid has the world at the palm of his hands, handsome as a devil. He's modeling, he's knocking out guys, and he has a massive following. I mean, that's a drug that's addicting. Yeah. But when life kicks you in the butt, I know it's an analogy we like to hear a lot, that's when you discover yourself, your character, and then that's what we discover what kind of fighter you really are. I'm curious to see what this next chapter of Ryan Garcia is because I think life kicked him in the butt and he's ready to come back.
Yeah, we've interviewed him many, many times, and we've seen the evolution of a young fighter to a young man to the grown man with the family. And I'm curious to see what kind of Ryan Garcia we're going to have here because I kid you not, last year when we did this media workout in Dallas, well, Ryan said some things, and my face went viral because I was like, okay, Beto, don't make a face right now. Don't make a stupid face. I made some stupid faces because some of the stuff he said, I'm like, bro, for real? Like, can we cut this off? But they were like, we're live. We got to do it. We flew to Dallas just for you. But it seems like he's more subdued. And I know, Gabe, you were saying you need that edge to fight. But it seems like, Ryan, once you put him in the ring, no matter what, watch out.
No, for sure. For sure. Yeah, it's whatever vibe he's on, man. Just, you know, like I said, there's certain trainers that they understand that you can't train Sergio the way you would train another fighter. Everyone has their own personality, so I think it's just allowing Ryan just to be him, and that's what, you know, if he's a lot calmer now and that's truly how he wants to be, then I feel that's great for him. It's just whatever vibe he's on.
And Ryan has his camp here in San Diego. Mentioned last year we talked to him. He was at Derek James' gym in the Dallas area. Derek coming to San Diego, and he's where they're doing camp here. He was supposed to train with Eddie Reynoso, according to Ryan on all the social media. But well, Eddie's busy with Canelo, who's already in Saudi Arabia. So Ryan made an agreement that for this camp he's going to be with Derek James. He was going to go with some other trainers, but go back to what works. It'll be the third fight that they'll be working together. Heck, Derek got him the blueprint against Haney. They got the win, and we'll be talking to Derek in a couple of minutes. Also, Oscar De La Hoya is on his way. Ryan Garcia on his way. The media workout here in San Diego. Right now, Luis, let's take a quick break. We'll reset here as we'll talk to Derek James, Oscar De La Hoya, and Ryan Garcia. We're in San Diego for Ryan Garcia's media workout ahead of his big fight in Times Square May 2nd. You're watching the DAZN right here in San Diego.
This isn't new. This is world-class sport at its peak. Witness football, volleyball, basketball and boxing. The biggest names. The biggest stages.
Brilliant finish!
The best in the world.
Got a lot to celebrate.
Unmissable.
This is off the scale.
This is where you watch.
Written in the stars.
DAZN is the global home of women's sport.
X-Series on the zone, where superstars meet.
It's not going to be your usual show.
And chaos unfolds.
Are you not entertained?
Nights like no other, where anything and everything happens.
Are you kidding me?
Where dreams are built in a heartbeat and shattered in seconds. Defying expectations, where underdogs conquer.
That changes everything!
And champions are crowned.
Am I now the queen of misfits?
The Zone is the home of crossover boxing.
When the lights shine bright and you've made the lonely walk, the cage door locks. It's just you and them.
Fight!
But the Zone is always in your corner. Elite MMA on the Zone.
Sport never stops on the Zone's live channels. The biggest names and moments streaming 24/7. NFL Network, the plays, the stars, the drama. Red Bull TV, extreme sports, extreme action. Matchroom boxing. Knockout after knockout all day, every day. PDC darts, precision under pressure. That and so much more with dedicated live channels on the Zone.
Back here in San Diego, getting ready for Ryan Garcia's media workout. He's moments away from showing up, so we'll be talking to Ryan. Also talking with Oscar DeLoy, Beth Duran, Sergio Mora, Gabe Rosado, now joined by Ryan's trainer, Derek James. Derek, you're in San Diego. This is your camp? I mean, you left Texas?
It's a situation going on, but we're making it work.
How's America's Finest City treating you this past month?
Is that what this
They call San Diego America's Finest City.
Hey, man, I don't know about that.
You're by the ocean, great golf courses. I'm sure you're going to find out why it's called that.
Hey, you're done with that after 2 days. I've been here for over a month. You know what I mean? It's like you get it. You know.
There's no humidity here.
You see the water. You see the. I'm done with that. I mean, we passed that. It's okay, man. I'm good though. I'm having a good time.
It's a business trip out here for you.
That's right. It's not about any of the amenities, anything they do. It's just all about work.
How's Ryan been doing this month?
He's been doing good. He's been really good. Mentally, he's good. Strategizing good. You know, he's really good, man. He's really good.
I think the main thing with Ryan Garcia, I know as cliche as it sounds, but it's focus, man. It's just mentality, because the kid has natural speed, natural power.
Right.
I love the fact that when he was in that Haney fight, controlling it, knocking this dude out, it was you yelling at him in the corner. Keep your focus, because that's the only thing that I think Ryan Garcia is lacking. What do you think he needs to work on the most? Is it the focus or anything technical?
You know, with boxing, it's everything, right? Because when you lack in one area for so long, you start to lack all over.
Right.
But I think with him, his belief in himself is so amazing, right? And the technique is what I work with him on. And when you work with the technique, everything comes up, everything rises, right? Because mentally you feel like you got it, you got everything together. So for me, skill set, technique, and, you know, he's good. He's good.
And speaking of technique, what are you doing about that shoulder roll for we can never see it again?
Oh, man, my God.
We never want to see the shoulder roll.
Hey, man, listen, man, I don't know. I don't think there's a trash can big enough.
Is he still doing it?
Nah, you know, he's
Okay.
good, man. You know, he's good.
Sergio's a big fan, you can tell.
No,
Yeah.
Coach, I feel that the reason you and Ryan have been successful together is because you allow Ryan to just be him. And like you said, you guys just stay in the gym, work on the technique, and just Ryan being Ryan allows him to perform at this level. Is that?
Well, you know what? It is, but I think at the same time, I think all fighters want to be able to be themselves, but at the same time, sometimes themselves may not be enough. So they want to be able to, he wants to be able to do what I want him to do and do what he can do best also. So, I mean, it's a blend of both of the two. I mean, like, the skill set is speed, and then we had athleticism, technique, some defense in there, and Because the whole thing is that everybody, I think most fighters want to be complete. Regardless of how they feel about themselves, they still want to be complete, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that with him, he wants to be a complete fighter where he has the speed, he has so many other things, but it's like, what do you bring and how can you help me? How can you help me be better?
Sure.
Derek James, trainer for Ryan Garcia. This will be your third camp with Ryan.
Yeah.
Do you see anything different from the first time to today?
I mean, he's just really, really focused and really tuned in. I mean, I think that, you know, last camp it was whatever it was, but then like it's like just really being focused on what he wants and what his desires are personally right now, and that's really what he's doing. I mean, he's really focused in on everything. When I say everything, like we had a discussion the other day, we're talking. He's like, I got it. I know what you want, you know. And then so I told him, I said, listen, Monday I said you're good, but we don't want to be good. We want to be better. So I'm not bashing because it was good. We want to be better.
Coach, what I want to ask is, I know you hear it all the time whenever a great coach like yourself takes in a great fighter or a fighter with great potential talent, you don't want to change them that much. You hear it all the time. But you do have to change them a little bit. You have to change them a little bit. Give us one thing that he's stubborn not to change, but that you want to actually make a slight change. Come on, give me something.
Smile right there.
I can tell you one thing. All right, I'll give you one. You can nod yes or no.
Here's Sergio the trainer.
I'm going to let you say it.
Sergio the trainer.
Inside fighting. We don't see Ryan inside fight.
But you know what it is? Don't worry about that. No, what I mean by that, don't worry about it because it's not going to be an issue.
Yeah.
For this fight.
I mean, I think anytime, I mean, it's like this. Inside fight is something that always is a possibility it happens, but it doesn't necessarily mean if you can keep them on the outside boxing, that's what you do. But it all eventually comes to this, right? Every now and then, whether it's this fight, some fight, so you'll see.
Because, you know what, Beto? I was good at poker. I could read so you're working on the jab. Gotcha. A lot of jabs.
I didn't say that. No, what I said was that that's how you just perfect, so practice. So in a perfect world, you can fight the fight you want to fight. But in reality, inside fighting always happens. I mean, so we have to master that also. So in reality, you touched on something really good because you'll see.
Okay.
If it happens, I mean, you know, because you want in life, you want to get what you want, and if you can box him or if you bang on the inside, that's what it is.
He said it without saying it.
Yeah, man. The training camp here, how's it different from Dallas? And was it Ryan's idea to just stay here and do the camp in San Diego?
Well, I mean, it was just something they talked about, you know, and it took a while to, you know, get with it, but you know, I said okay, whatever, you know, and I did, you know. I'm here.
Yeah.
Where do you get better sparring, in Texas or in San Diego? Be real.
In Texas, man.
Come on, man. We're so close to Mexico. You're telling me we're not getting the great sparring
Derek
here?
is a proud Texan. Everything is better in Texas for him.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's about the atmosphere that you create or whatever, right? And if you come into a shrine of great fighters, you're going to get some great action, great activity. And you get, because really we use fighters from all over, so it's not necessarily, we don't necessarily use local homegrown sparring when I'm in Dallas. But, you know, here we use, you know, some local guys, whatever. So I know Mexico's right down the way.
I get what you're saying. It's like the atmosphere. Like I'm from Philly, so when I would do my training camps in Philly, you'd be more gritty.
That's right.
Going into the fight, and then, you know.
Yeah, but that's where he lives now.
And it's, well, yeah, I'm in L.A., but the thing is this.
And Puerto Rico.
But yeah, or I've done camps in Puerto Rico. It's too... Is beaches, it's nice, it's food, and it's too. So I get what you're saying. The atmosphere is a little more rugged.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then really, because you got to think about this. When you have this beautiful situation going on, where's your reflection, right? Where can you say, well, I had to push through this? It was hot, it was this, it was that. Because mentally, sometimes the fighter has to be reminded of what they had to do to get to where they are, right? And how can I reflect on the beach? How can I reflect in something that's very mild, right? So you have to be able to reflect, because that's how, because if there's no hardships in front of you, like in a beautiful place like that, you have to reach back and say, what did I fight through to get to where I am right now? And that's what, because every day we can remember all of the days that were good, but we forget about the days that we had to push through. Those are the ones that push us through the fight and make us be better in a fight, opposed to all those good, beautiful days in the beach or going to the pier. So, yeah.
It's hard to get up in the morning and run
when you're sleeping in silk sheets.
Silk pajamas.
I don't know about that. I just think that.
That was Marvin Hagler.
I know he said that, but I think about, I'm pretty sure all y'all have silk pajamas.
Oh, absolutely.
At the same time, y'all get up and run. I get up and run in the morning, too. So it's like every morning, you have to be able to keep the commitment you make to yourself.
We talk all that stuff about Ryan, the silk pajamas, all that other stuff, the beautiful area. But at the end of the day, he's a fighter, Jerry.
Oh, he's a fighter, man. I'm not talking about him. I was talking about in general.
Yeah.
But no, it's like he's a fighter.
You never question Ryan the fighter.
Oh, no, without a doubt. Listen, he's so focused. He's so tuned in, and it's like, it's good. I'm happy with the situation.
We're gonna see any kind of surprises, or is it just straight to the point?
He's not going to say nothing.
No, I got to ask a question. No, May 2nd. Any surprises? Just say no. A knockout? No. A decision? No. Yeah, everything's no with you, right?
But yeah, I mean, I don't call it. It's all about the victory, but however you can get it. Yeah. It could be on the inside, it could be on the outside, it could be wherever. But hey, I just care that we get it. I don't care about anything else.
Derek James, always appreciate you. And he left his golf clubs in Dallas. He's here on a business trip.
Business trip. But every now and then you can sneak in some golf, even though I hadn't, because I said I want to be able to be focused. And it's too cold out here anyway.
Oh,
it's cold, man. Listen, no, really, it's cold. Like, I mean, I've had the worst, man. Listen, I've been here for a month.
Country boy.
I probably only wore shorts twice. Twice. Out of a whole month, man. It's cold out here. It's freezing.
Derek James. Well, I got a tea time tomorrow, 6:30. If you want to join me, Gabriel will be seeing you.
AM, PM.
AM.
I can do that. No, man, I'm good, man. But it's gonna be cold.
It's gonna be cold. Derek, appreciate you.
Yeah,
we'll see you in New York City. Come back. We'll see if Ryan Garcia shows up. He's moments away from here at his media workout right here on DAZN.
Thank you.
Yeah. Live on DAZN Worldwide, April 26th. A legendary rivalry is reborn. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Born rivals, battle is in their blood. Fighting for the name, the honor, the legacy. It's finally time to settle the score. Eubank Jr. versus Benn, April 26th. Available soon at DAZN.com/boxing.
Hello people, me again. Fight Week on DAZN is non-stop action. Access all areas of the biggest fights. That and so much more, even before the bell rings.
47 years of promoting boxing. What a ride it's been. I was 23 years old at the time. I got an invite from the Boxing Board of Control to take a licence out. Back then, it was all run by the cartel.
We have a new promoter in British Championship Boxing, Frank Warren.
People liked it, I think, the fact that someone was taking the cartel on. I've never been afraid about shaking things up and working with new media.
This is a bit of a dream come true.
Pay-per-view, satellite TV.
Very proud of Amir. What he done was fantastic.
Bringing shows in from America Live. I've been lucky enough to promote some of the biggest names in boxing.
I'd like to thank Mr. Frank Warren for having me over here.
Just when you think it can't get any bigger, my mobile rang. We get this call from His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. Off we went to the races. I'm as competitive as my fighters, and I fight for my fighters. I'm always looking for the next challenge, and I know there's one there now.
Queensbury arrives at the home of boxing, DAZN, multi-year deal, let's go.
This is a company that is devoted to boxing. They have a worldwide platform. And for us, that is very, very important to do what Queensbury is doing, to be expanding and building, working together for the betterment of boxing, as I believe it will be.
I welcome them all. That's what I'm boxing for, to show them why you're the greatest.
I'm one of the best, if not the best in the division, so that's what I got to do.
Oh, and she couldn't handle that one. Down she goes. Bad news. Undisputed champion of the world, DAZN.
Here in San Diego, America's finest city, Ryan Garcia media workout moments away. This weekend, Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions putting on a show at Front Wave Arena in Oceanside, where Gabriela Fundora, the undefeated champ, will be defending her title. Durant, Gabriel Rosado, now Sergio Mora. Look, East LA, Montebello, everybody's connected right now.
Sure, of course. I mean,
Golden Boy himself, the Hall of Famer, Oscar De La Hoya.
How's it going? All good?
We're good, man. We're good.
We're excited.
Ryan Garcia, we're going to see him Times Square. How did that happen, Oscar?
We were having a meeting with His Excellency and a few other people. And look, we're all about making big events and in strange places where nobody has ever, thought of. And collectively, we were like, hey, why not Times Square? Why not outdoors, free for the public, everyone to watch? I mean, it's the media capital of the world, so it was about time. And so obviously Golden Boy came together, Turkey, and we made it happen.
Well, landmarks, I think the provocative landmarks. Like, it's pretty amazing that, if it doesn't rain in Times Square, that's the only thing that can rain on the parade. Other than that, it should be all eyes on Times Square. Just like when the Rumble in the jungle in Zaire, but there's a different type of jungle. There's a concrete jungle. I mean,
that's true.
It really is incredible. And Alcatraz and everyone else. Like, so when His Excellency talks to you about this, do you have any ifs or buts or what if this happens or anything that you bring up to the table?
Yeah, you have your reservations and you think about the weather and, outdoors and, things can happen. But we're very optimistic. We feel that, May 2nd is going to be perfect. Hopefully, the weather, is beautiful for everyone to watch. But we're expecting over 200,000 people there watching. Geez. Imagine that. I mean, all eyes are going to be on boxing and Ryan Garcia and all the other fighters on May 2nd. So that's the big plus for the sport.
It's a stacked card, man. We got Barbosa, Ramirez, and Garcia. Who do you think steals the show?
I think the Teofimo Barbosa fight is going to be it's going to be such an intense fight. It's going to be a back and forth battle war until it lasts. But I really do think that Ryan Rollies is gonna be short and sweet. I mean, it can be that type of fight where, see, Ryan's coming back after a year's layoff, and he's anxious and he's ready and he wants to just prove to the world, that he hasn't skipped a beat. But Rollies, I saw Rollies the other day, and he's looking in beast mode. So it's a dangerous fight if you keep your head straight. And look, one thing about Ryan, he's got fast reflexes. He's a fighter who is just out to prove something. So I think that Ryan is going to go in there, take care of business, but make it one of the most exciting short fights ever.
Oscar, we haven't seen Ryan since he got suspended. He went last year, but a year inactivity for Ryan Garcia. Yet, whenever I go anywhere, it's, hey, when's Ryan fighting? Hey, when's Ryan fighting? The sport of boxing, you've said it many times, you need superstars, and this kid is that superstar.
Yeah, no, he is a superstar. Look, when he first went to my office, I think he was like 17 years old with his parents, and we were talking about his career and what we can do, and so look at him now. I mean, that's exactly what we do together, collectively as a team. And, we're very proud of being in his corner and promoting him and, working things out to a point where he's a global superstar. So I think May 2nd, yes, it couldn't happen without Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia right now is the sport of boxing.
But there are also the ups and downs with every fighter, every promoter, every manager, right? It's not sunshine.
Wait, you're telling me?
I watch Contact Thursday. I know what's going on.
What are you talking about, ups and downs? Boxing? What?
Never. But staying by Ryan's side, where you could have easily just said, this kid's a headache. Let me sell him off to somewhere else. But you didn't. Why?
No. Look, one thing about us is, look, we're loyal. We work hard. We're a team. To everyone. When we see talent, we embrace it and we try our best. That's basically it. And so, I feel that, yes, look, Ryan having, his issues, okay, that only he knows what they are, and let him deal with them with his team. And as long as he wants to do this, as long as he wants to show up and fight and lace them up, look, we're going to be in his corner 1,000%. So I strongly feel that Ryan is back with a vengeance. I really do. I mean, his demeanor is different. And us fighters here, us 3 fighters here, sorry, Beto.
No, I'm all right.
But us 3 fighters here are, look, this is what we do. This is what we do, and this is how we fight, inside and outside the ring.
Not only this, Oscar, but the parallels are so similar to your life and the life of Ryan, your careers, the left hook, the looks, the hooks, everything.
Right.
Do you ever sit him down and say, "Look, man, I've been through this already. Let me give you the roadmap to success. Let me show you how it's done."
Oh yeah.
Does he listen, pay attention, or does he just say, "Look, I got this, Oscar. I got my own route."
As long as I say it, if they listen or not, it's up to them. So
I'll take that road book if Ryan doesn't need it.
So it's all good.
This fight.
So he just got here. There he is, right?
Good. Oscar, this fight reminds me of you and Mayorga.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's a similarity I see for this fight. So what are the things that Ryan has to look out for with Rolly that, you going into the fight with Mayorga are similarities?
No, look, I mean, that's a great observation. And I think, look, you're right. Mayorga was a strong puncher. He was a talker. He can knock you out with any punch. Punches are coming from different angles, and you just never know where they're coming from. So, yeah, that's a great observation. And what Ryan has to do is I think he has to keep his cool, be calm, collective, wait for the opportunity, wait for the openings, and take care of business. I think, Ryan's a much taller fighter. He's skilled more so than Rolly's. So the punches that are going to be coming at Ryan are going to be wide and strong and fast, but I think Ryan is a type of fighter who instinctively can overcome Rolly's and eventually knock him out.
So that'll be May 2nd, Times Square this weekend. Golden Boy is in Oceanside. Gabriela Fundora is going to be defending her belts in an action-packed card. Yeah. You'll be on the broadcast for it. Both of you guys will be on the broadcast for that. It's a busy 2025 this year, Oscar. What else do you have planned for your staff?
Look, we're planning a lot this year. And there's a lot of events we're talking about that we can't really discuss now, but it's going to be very exciting. It really is. I mean, we're talking about doing another Latino night.
Oh wow!
Fairly soon, and we're talking about just working with DAZN and bringing the fans the best fights we can. That's the bottom line. And then when you're working with Your Excellency and Riyadh season, and so we sprinkle a few major mega events. It's like boxing right now is thriving. Boxing right now is on the verge of really great things, and all we have to do is collectively work together as a team. And what I'm saying is like boxing as a team. In general, boxing, the whole sport, we just have to figure out how to work together. So we've been trying to do that for many years, navigate ourselves through working with every promoter out there. I mean, we've worked with everybody. That's what we do. But I think right now at this moment, things are coming together for the sport of boxing.
Well, you keep saying that. You've said it for many years. I want to work with everybody. So Times Square, you're going to have Golden Boy, Top Rank, Matchroom, PBC, everybody coming together for the betterment of the sport. That's what matters to you.
That's it. That's all that matters. We have the best fights taking place. I mean, this event is a global event, and that's exactly what boxing needs. We must continue to give the fight fans the best fights.
It's Thursday.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
he can't clap. He can't clap
not
right
today.
now.
No clap back today.
Not today.
All right, so you guys enjoy your dinner tonight. No clap back Thursday.
I don't have enough content.
Okay.
So, but the next one, it's gonna be fire.
I love those. I love those clapbacks.
Oscar De La Hoya, putting on the show this weekend. As always, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
The Golden Boy of the Hall of Fame. Ryan Garcia, moments away. We'll be talking to him soon. Let's take a quick break here in San Diego.
Hey, listen up. Let's have it. We know you've always got your eye on the prize, the championship belt. And why wouldn't you? You're a finely tuned, well-oiled boxing watching machine, capable of consuming over 185 fights on DAZN every year.
We've gone big, we've gone global.
Churning through combinations, comebacks, and non-stop knockouts.
Are you going to take?
With big fights every week, you're the best in the world. So go on, get that belt. Champ DAZN. Undisputed.
Here is the undefeated flyweight from Coachella, California, Sweet Poison.
Oh, early in the morning, I wake them up with a siren. 7 a.m. Yeah, they go for about 4-mile run. Then they come back, do a little strength and conditioning. Then feed the goats, feed the animals. And she got to go see that we have eggs. Then just eat breakfast, take a rest, come back at 1 and do her boxing.
What got me into boxing was actually my mom. I was always watching her, and my brothers were training too, but it was just more me gravitating, focusing, just watching her compete in the amateurs and going to all these tournaments. Even when I was younger, I was underneath the ring, kind of just watching my brothers do their thing in sparring, in fights, and my mom was reffing them and judging them. So I was always around boxing, watching it, and then eventually I got into it.
Oh, well, too bad. You can't
Our life is boxing. It's not any camp, and it's just, we step outside, there's the gym. We come into the gym, ring's right here, and it motivates you. It's seeing, say if I'm on my break, right? Not really, but I'm still watching my brother do his thing, or my little sister, and we're just so knitted that it's in the system. It's part of like breathing, sleeping. It's just, boxing's another one of those things. Right now, what makes us different, we're the first in history to be the first brother and sister duo in boxing to be champions at the same time. So, trainer of the year, I think so. Having them in the corner, it's just another advantage, another plus, that we're so tightly knitted, and I don't have to get to know my coach or get to know who my partner is, that they already know what I'm thinking, and they know kind of what I'm seeing inside the ring, and they're that extra pair of eyes that I know I can rely on and trust outside the ring. So it's just a great bond, and we're I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly.
Back in San Diego, Ryan Garcia's media workout, joined by the one and only Ryan Garcia, Beth Duran, Sergio Mora, and Gabe Rosado with you right now. So Ryan just showed up. He's into a media workout, but first stopping by with us. How you been, man?
Been good. You know, training camps well, so excited to be here. Excited to show what I've been working on.
First time we get to see you in over a year. How has this year been for you?
It's been good. You know, a couple ups and downs, but excited to be back in the ring. In my element, where I produce the best Ryan Garcia is when I'm getting ready for a fight. So I'm excited.
Ryan, you're back with Derek James. We were just talking to Derek James. He didn't want to offer anything that you guys are working on. Is there anything that you want to work on specifically with James that you can tell us?
I just got to take the advice of my coach. You know, he likes to keep everything low key, but. We're prepared. We're prepared for whatever Rolando brings. We're not expecting an easy fight. Obviously, he's a power puncher, and he's going to come to try to knock me out, probably make the fight rough. So just got to be well-conditioned and have a good game plan.
Oscar De La Hoya, your promoter, said it doesn't last 4 rounds. He says it's going to end quickly. You think it could be a quick night, considering both your styles?
When you say that, usually it doesn't happen. So for me, I'll just be doing my thing. If I see the shot open, I'm going to take it. If not, I'm ready to go 12 rounds. So.
Ryan, how hard was this layoff, bro? Being away from what you love for so long, what did you do to kind of like spend the time? Did you work in the gym? How did you bring that energy?
I did a lot of things, but for me, it was more mental. Everything was mental. It took a lot toll on my mental because, I know I didn't, take any steroids or anything like that, so it was tough for me to overcome that, but throughout the year I was just got over it and just kind of refocused myself and just got blessed with this opportunity, and I felt, all right, this is my chance to come back and show everybody I could really fight. So,
And during the time off, were you still in the gym working, even though you was going through that that hard time mentally? Did you still stay hungry and stay in the gym working?
Yeah, 100%. Me and Derek had a couple of training sessions. We were obviously preparing for that fight in Japan. Obviously, it didn't work out, but you know, we were in the gym preparing for another opponent, but it is what it is. But now we're here.
For sure.
May 2nd, Times Square, Ryan Garcia, the main event against Rolly Romero. Not too long ago, and not too far from here, you made your pro debut in Tijuana.
Right. Where
oh,
yeah,
they
true.
changed your opponents. You didn't know what was going on. You were a teenager at that time.
Yeah.
To go from that, Ryan, right, where everybody's yelling and you don't know what's going on, to Times Square. I know you've dreamt about it, but this is crazy, man.
I'll be honest, I didn't even dream about it. That was not even a thought in my head. Times Square, you know, just happy to be part of history. You know, it's a big opportunity for me to do something amazing at a historic event. So, you know, there's a little added pressure, but it's what we do. It's why we train since we're young, you know, for these super mega events. So, you know, I'm blessed.
The one thing that, you know, your critics would say is that you have so much success, but you still haven't fought for a world championship. Can you comprehend the fact that you've had so much success, fought on the biggest stages, made a boatload of money, but you still haven't won that strap? You still haven't heard and the new. Is that still a hunger that you have considering all your success?
I think so. You know, as I grow up, I'm like, okay, it would be nice to get a championship under my belt. But as you see, you know, anybody, well, I don't want to say anybody become a champion, but it's pretty watered down at the moment. For me, the quality opponents, how I perform, how I look, and how much money I'm making really determines, you know, how good of a fighter you are. And
you're called a prize fighter.
How big? Yeah, you're called a prize fighter. So, you know, we're fighting for a prize. But yeah, it's still my heart to become a champion. I believe I'm fighting for a 147-pound championship, so I will be a world champion. So I'm excited. But do I want to fight maybe somebody else that I feel like, you know,
give us a name.
Make me feel like a champion, you know?
Give us a name.
You want the real one.
Whoever the champions are.
147?
I really, Drawn, Ennis, what's his name? Boots, right?
Yeah.
Who else is there? I don't know who else is the champion at 147.
Brian Norman.
Brian Norman. Then.
Boots is probably the biggest
thing. Yeah.
Mario Barrios?
Oh, Mario Barrios. So, yeah, anybody, you know, any of those guys, I feel like, all right, I won a world championship if I beat one of those guys, you know?
But you've never been one to shy away, right? You took Tank, you took Haney, you'll take everybody. Whoever it is in front of you, let's go.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's always I've been. I feel like, you know, with my talent, any fight I'm in, no matter how good they are, you know, I'm right there with anybody, you know.
Ryan, like, so, you know, with the antics you had going into that Haney fight, right?
Yeah.
I was like, man, I don't think he's focused.
Right.
But then as I studied and I kind of seen the interviews and things like that, I'm like, yo, he pulled an okie doke on us.
Yeah.
Because it was like, it's like you go into the ring and you use that. That's like a superpower.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, that's, you know, we're not really seeing that much into this camp.
Right.
But, you know, I noticed that those tactics were kind of like your superpower. You go into the ring and it's like you got that edge and you got that killer mentality. Are we going to see that in this fight?
Well, you got to know that, you know, Devin is a much different fighter than Rolando.
Sure.
Rolando wouldn't get affected by antics. He actually would love that.
You're welcome.
Devin's like, what's going on?
So
we're supposed to be training.
It was a different situation.
Yeah, it's a whole different situation.
Yeah.
Rolando, I got to be sharp the whole way through because, you know, he only throws bombs, actually. That's all he knows how to throw. So if I'm not sharp the whole way through, could get caught, and that's not something I want to do. So for me, it's just having my technique right. And that's what we've been working on, just technique, making sure that, you know, our hands get back, and watching what he's doing at all times, and we should do the job.
For sure.
There's been that video for you guys sparring years ago, right? You guys were kids when that happened.
Yeah.
Is this a personal fight for him, for you, or is it just another fight?
I mean, as I matured and everything, for me, it's just another fight. You know, it's me after the year layoff. It just so happened to be Rolando. But I really just want to get sharp again, prepare for the next fight, but can't look past Rolando, obviously. So I'll be looking to, you know, shake off the ring rust and get right for the next fight because I got a lot to prove with the Devin Haney rematch.
You want him again?
100%.
I think we all want Devin Haney.
I need that, man, and I'm going to do it for Rosado this time.
It was crazy.
Well, since we talked about it, me got your podcast with Gabe Rosado.
Can I fight Bill on the undercard?
Yeah, please do. Oh, my God, dude. I'll throw in some of my purse for that.
Now that one, okay, because Gabe and Bill Haney, they love each other if you look at their social media. Is that the personal fight, the Devin Haney one?
I mean, yeah, there is some, you know, personal bad blood there, but it's not gonna rule me. But yeah, it got some like extra in there. You know, when you're fighting, you want to put it on him even more. So, you know, there's that. And then you got Bill, you know, with his crazy antics. He's constantly talking nonstop. So that makes me want to just, you know, put a whooping a little bit more.
Exclamation mark on this, because you mentioned the other champions. Like, okay, they'll be good.
Yeah.
But you say Haney, and you're like, this is.
It's just unfortunate. I did it the first time, and then, you know, whatever happened after. But again, this is just an opportunity for me to do it again. And I think after that, you know, I'll put a stamp on that and just move forward.
Well, good. No, man. So here's what I'm saying, Ryan.
Yeah.
Knowing you for a lot of years, when I used to fight at the Belasco, you'd come here as a fan, you'd hang out there, and you'd tell people, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And it was like, okay, heard about your amateur background, all that good stuff. Your talent is there. Everybody assumes, oh, he had the social media following. He was just the kid on the fast reflex bag. It's not that. You worked hard. You worked out of the gym, actually not even the gym, the garage in Victorville to get to where you're at. Yeah, you have all the accolades. Yeah, you have the money, you have the riches, but people don't understand how hard you worked to get here because you had to climb out of it, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of us, you know, we don't come from you know, a rich background. A lot of boxers, you have to, you know, work from the dirt and you know, get to the top. That's the dream of a fighter. You know, most of us don't got money. You know, why would you want to box if you got money? You feel me? So at the end of the day, you know, I'm just you know, that story of that young kid from, you know, tough neighborhood, but you know, when you got talent, you can make it anywhere, and if you got hard work, shit, you can reach the top. I think that's what I've been proving. And no matter, you know, if I'm underestimated, which I am most of the time, but my talent, you know, prevails, my hard work shows out, and that's what I'm going to be ready to do again, May 2nd.
I said last year when we were at Derek James for this media workout, I didn't know what you were going to say.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, that was funny, though.
Yeah, when I'm a meme, that's funny,
That's the okey-doke. That's the okey-doke.
But that was the rope-a-dope, right, that you did.
You know,
you seem in a different place today.
I just got to be. You know, every fight has its own challenges. Every camp has its own challenges. I just felt like playing mind games with them. You know, they like to play mind games with you. You know, Bill Haney, they like to talk a lot of crazy things, throw you off. So I'm like, I'm out crazy the crazy. And I took a little too far, but I did win.
He won in the ring, and we'll see May 2nd what you do against Rolando Romero.
100%. Man. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you, Ryan Garcia. So Ryan's going to go work out with the members of the media here in San Diego. We'll take a quick break from San Diego.
Right, quiet on set.
Ryan Garcia is being groomed for greatness.
Here goes the first. Oop. I stunned him.
Garcia closing in now.
Boom. That's all she wrote. Good night. But I'll tell you the story about this, okay? I'm Ryan Garcia, and this is the best 10 seconds of my career. I'll set the scene. I'm in the locker room, and I always play worship music and always talk to God before I step in the ring. I don't do anything else. As I was doing that, I felt an aura just come over my gloves and just a feeling of knowing. You understand what I'm saying? The feeling that I knew I was gonna knock him out. And as I knew that, I was already praying for him to wake up because I didn't want him to be asleep forever. So I came out, I was feeling good in the ring. I shoot my shots, I'm landing them at ease. He's throwing punches that are out of range. I'm continuing the pressure without putting too much pressure to make it sloppy, and I didn't want him to be too worried. So immediately I went into a defensive position to try to invite him into a shot. Right here, he's throwing a shot that he knows he shouldn't throw. And for that split second, he's vulnerable to get knocked out because he won't see the shot coming. Now that I look back at it, it's like, I felt like I had like hours to hit him with that shot. As I'm looking at it now, right, it looks so like in an instant. But when I'm looking at him right here, I had about a second to land that left hook. I was like, oh wow, he's leaving his head there for that long. And I was like, all right, boom. When you know you knock somebody out, it's not because you hit them hard. It's more like you hit them and their body disappears. You know, look at me, look, I don't look strong because I'm not that tough guy. You know, I'm not the guy that, you know, is just looking mean, angry. But it's something inside me that has this fire and it's belief. It's this energy inside me that when I throw a shot, it comes all out. It only comes out when I'm throwing punches. I'm doing anything else, I don't got it. It went viral, it went nuts. Everybody was talking about it. LeBron James, I mean, so many big celebrities, so much hype around it. I delivered an amazing knockout, and that's the recipe for viralness. That's how the world repays you.
This kid is a superstar.
I felt so great. I can't even explain that feeling I had inside me. King Ryan. That nickname just stick well to me. When you're winning like that, you feel like you're royalty. Just like LeBron James, he's King James. He's king of the court. And I want to be king of the ring. And that was the best 10 seconds of my career.
In San Diego, America's finest city, that's where Ryan Garcia is holding his training camp. We're here for his media workout. You see his trainer, Derek James, putting the gloves on Ryan. Oscar De La Hoya, promoter for Golden Boy Promotions, right next to him as Ryan's talking to the members of the media. So he's going to get his hands wrapped. He's going to work out, do some shadow boxing in the ring, work some mitts. Fatal Fury is the open workout we're doing right now. Fatal Fury City of Wolves is Ring Magazine's inaugural American event. Never before seen night of boxing in Times Square, Manhattan, New York, Friday, May 2nd. 4 incredible fights, including Teofimo Lopez against Arnold Barboza Jr., Devin Haney against Jose Ramirez, and, of course, Ryan Garcia against Rolly Romero. It's brought to you by Ring Magazine, SNK Corporation, the publisher of the famous video fighting game Fatal Fury City of Wolves, Oscar De La Hoya, who you see right there on your screen, and Golden Boy Promotions, Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, Bob Arum of Top Rank, and Tom Brown of TGB Promotions, and the broadcast live exclusively on DAZN Worldwide. Jim Lampley will be on the broadcast. That'll be cool to hear Jim Lampley. Beto Duran alongside Sergio Mora and Gabe Rosado. Sergio, I'm going to get going with you.
Yeah.
Speaking to Ryan, I said it at the end, like, you seem like you're in a different place. That kid has a different attitude.
Yeah, I talked to him when we were off camera. I said, you know, I love the reserved Ryan, but I still want to see flashes of you, man. I still want to see flashes of Ryan. Maybe not the crazy Ryan that we saw, but somewhere in the middle, right? Somewhere in the middle, man, because you don't want to change too fast. You want to still be you. There's a lot of fighters that, you know, find themselves. Manny Pacquiao is a good example. You know, Manny Pacquiao was knocking out everybody, and then all of a sudden, you know, the vices stopped. Like Freddie Roach said, he stopped gambling, he stopped doing this, stopped doing that.
Oh, that's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Cut off a lot of friends.
He cut off way too much.
Boo Boy stayed, but everybody else was gone.
There's something about the burning the candle at two ends that works for fighters for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, but that's a short period.
Hold on, for a certain amount of time. That's
Where
what
you
makes
going with this one?
you got to be crazy as a fighter.
Yeah.
You can't lose it all.
Okay.
You know, you can't lose it all. Gabe, you know what I'm trying to say?
I know
The
exactly.
edge,
I know
right?
exactly
The
what
edge.
you're saying.
Okay.
I know exactly what you're saying, man. It's true. You know, the fighters that live on the edge, obviously it works for a period amount of time, but for the long run, it catches up to you in your 30s.
There you go.
It catches up to
quick.
you. You know, but you know, one thing that Ryan said that, you know, caught my attention was that he said in the Haney fight, it was a different mindset as far as the way the Haney camp was behaving. But he said that if he behaved like that in this fight, that would fuel Rolly. So he says right now he's just focused on, you know, preparing and make sure that he's focused on those wide shots that Rolly throws.
Yeah, he'll be fighting at 147 pounds and looks good. Like, I mean, he's never have to worry about him being in shape. I know he came in overweight for the Haney fight, but then we find out later that was a plan where he wanted to do that. He just paid the fee and like going after. So everything was in the mind. But 47, that kid right there, good size.
Well, he carries the weight well because he has the height and the shoulder width to distribute that weight. But, you know, whenever fighters size themselves up, aside from the muscle and the size, I look at how their eyes look, you know, the color, their eye bags, you know, if they're tired, their skin. He looks great, man. He looks like he's been, you know, resting, training, sleeping, avoiding, you know, the bad habits and vices. He looks great. And this is a Ryan Garcia that we want to see in this fight. But like I said, you don't want to change all of a sudden. But for this camp, if you're with Derek James, you can bet that he's not doing none of that out here.
Well, he's down here in San Diego away from everybody else that he would say. He's also only 26 years old, Gabe.
Yeah.
You've seen this kid in the limelight for so long, but he's still only 26.
For sure, man. I think sometimes, you know, you got to get that out of your system. You know, that behavior that he had going into the Haney fight as far as, you know, the drinking and things like that, man. And I think right now he just has he set a different goal. And I think for fighters, what is important is every time you reach a mark, you need to set a new goal. And I think that's what Ryan's doing right now, where he's probably more focused now on getting this win. He wants to get that get back with Haney, but he's talking about, fighting some of the world champions and becoming a world champion officially.
And Sergio, earlier you were talking about this when you can't fight. You want to fight, but you can't. He couldn't fight because of suspension. You couldn't fight because of contract issues. You can train, you can go to the gym, you hit the bag, but if you don't have that carrot in front of you, if you don't have a fight date, that could be mentally tough for a fighter. How was it for you?
No, for any fighter. Anyone could tell you that, because this is what we do for a living. This is how we get paid, and we want the adrenaline rush of the bright lights. No matter how much you try to imitate, in sparring, it's not the same. You need the bright lights. You need the small gloves. You need that feeling of fear. You want somebody that you want to prepare for in fear. That's a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle to be able to go to the gym and say, this is my job. This is what I'm preparing for. But when you're inactive, when you have so much criticism, when you have allegations to fight, it could be mentally draining. It could be something that can change you as a person, as a young man, your character. And I think that's maybe what we're seeing here with Ryan, the fact that the world was given to him, taken away, and now he doesn't, it's a juggling act mentally that he's still dealing with.
There's his father, Henry. That's also something, Gabe, that instead of worried about your opponent, he had to worry about lawsuits. He had to worry about appeals. He had to worry about all the big boy stuff, the grown-up stuff. It's like, dude, you forgot, you just want to fight sometimes.
Yeah, and the thing is, sometimes you forget what you have until it's taken away from you. And I think maybe what we're seeing with Ryan right now, his mannerism being a little different, is appreciation. Like, oh, I got this back. I'm back on the spotlight. Times Square, like, this is huge, man. And I think him being back in this position is like, he appreciates it a little more. So you see a little more humble Ryan Garcia right now.
That's part of the growing up part too, right?
No, you know what the funny part is, Beto? The fact that normally a fighter goes through this maturing, this new phase of finding themselves, and after a bad loss, he had to find himself after one of his greatest wins.
You're right.
Yeah.
Because of all that. So that must be a mental thing that he has to fight, and he's had his mental struggles and mental health issues. I mean, this kid has gone through so much, man. But if you can get out of that, as cliche as it sounds, get past that darkness, not only do you become a better man, you're going to be a better fighter. You're going to take all that you learned inside that ring, and that extends your career with maturity.
Yeah, and a lot of those issues were self-inflicted. And Ryan will be the first one to tell you, like, I was doing this, I was doing that. Like, I shouldn't have been doing certain things. Good point. A lot of times fighters get like that self-reflective after they lose, right? They always say, there's nobody in the locker room after you lose. When you win, everybody wants to go party. You lose, it's like, oh, they leave you alone. But Gabe, I'm going to start this one with you. A lot of times you hear this from fighters within their 30s. Yeah. It might be too late. It's not too late for him.
Well, I think, man, this is the first time I thought about this, but I think the suspension was a blessing in disguise for Ryan. I think if he would have just kept rolling off that victory and kept on that pace that he was on, the drinking, the partying, then I think there would have been a crash out. You know what I mean? So I think he got held back. He was stripped away from what he loves, and I think, like I said, you see appreciation now. You see a different mindset, a different focus.
That's a good point. And the thing about being a fighter, Beto, is that we compartmentalize our life, our career, our family, and then we have to go inside and put our health at risk. It's a juggling act that a lot of people can't handle, man. And I think it really got to Ryan at this point of his career after the Haney fight. But like I said, just like Tyson Fury, when he was able to come back from that darkness, from that obesity, from bad habits, that's what Ryan Garcia is going through right now.
In the ring with Derek James, we're going to hear some of those punches. Ryan going to a full workout here this afternoon in San Diego. And thanks to all the members of the media that showed up today. You see Lance Pugmire, KO Boxing, and Fernando Ramirez. And in the corner, Abe Gonzalez does great work. All members showing up here in San Diego. Get access to Ryan before he gets ready for his fight May 2nd, Times Square. And we're in San Diego. Golden Boys will be busy this weekend with fights in Oceanside as Gabriela Fundora is going to be defending her undisputed title. Sergio Mora and Gabriel Rosado, you're both going to be on that broadcast with it.
For sure, man.
With the Todd Grisham experience showing up. There you go. It'll be fun to hear both of you guys. As you see, right away, one round there, Sergio, right away, the veins are popping out, man.
He looks great. I mean, he doesn't look soft. He doesn't look flat. You know, the fact that the fight's still, you know, a few weeks away, he already looks great. You know, the muscle definition, and like I said earlier, the complexion and the skin. He doesn't look drawn. You know, he looks in great shape, man. And the look in his eye, just that says a lot too, man.
Yeah, man. With Ryan's frame, he's going to eventually grow into a middleweight division. He probably even super middleweight. He's a big guy.
Yeah, he'll be at 47 on May 2nd.
It's a beautiful thing when you have power like that, man. And this kid has natural speed and power, right? Right now he's probably punching at, I would say, 30 to 40%, but you could hear the pop. He just his punches are like a whip. You know, it pops at the right time. It really is a beautiful thing to watch, even when it's in mid motion like this. That's what I want to see more of, Beto. I want to see footwork from this kid, upper body movement from this kid, angles from Ryan. If I start seeing,
why do you want to see more of that?
Because look, Ryan Garcia, for everything he is, he is a stationary fighter. He's a flat-footed fighter. He doesn't move his upper body because he has such quick instinct and speed that he gets away with it. But on the higher level, on the elite level, he's going to need angles. He's going to need footwork. He's going to need to bend his knees, make himself smaller, need some inside fighting. He's going to need a lot more when it comes to the championship level, to all those big dogs at 147 and 154.
So as he progresses, moves on up, that's where you want to see that. I mean, Rollies, I don't think we're going to have to see that. Haney is kind of a different fight. But this is what you want. And Derek didn't want to tell you anything, but they worked on it.
Look, I'm already seeing it. Derek James is trainer, great trainer. He may not have told me, but I'm seeing what they're working on. Notice how they're moving angles. They're not in front of each other anymore. He's boxing backwards, getting on an angle. See that little footwork that he's doing there? These are all things that Ryan has never done. He's always been in front of you, just looking for the jab and the left hook. He was a one-arm fighter, you know, because he was that blessed. But now look at the footwork. Look at the angles.
Yeah, and you can see the rhythm, too, with the pad. It's like James doesn't even have to call the shots. He just know the combinations by heart.
You're Oscar saying strong.
Yeah, and that's what we're seeing as fighters. He doesn't have to be punching at 100%. You can hear the pop. Even at half that percentage, you can hear the pop, and it's like a whip. It's a beautiful thing.
He's also doing a full workout here because, again, last year, I know I keep saying like the whole last year, but that's the last time we saw him. We went to Dallas and it was like, so Ryan kind of just pitter-patter, didn't really do anything. It's like, dude, we flew here for this. And I mean, I get it. You're going to go there to promote the fight, but he's working right now. He's showing us something, Gabe.
Man, like I said, he was stripped away from what he loves to do, and now he's taking full advantage of it, man. And I think that's what's going to make Ryan that much better now, because he realized, like, man, you can't take for granted what is given to you, man. And I think that's why you're seeing him. It's a different kind of Ryan, man, a little more humble and just in there working.
And you don't really know what he's going through in his personal life, you know. We just know what's out there in the media, what he decides to talk about. But, you know, fighters have a lot going on. I mean, this is a father. This is a man that has issues and personal issues outside the ring, legal issues. He has to deal with so much and then have to come and promote this fight, get ready for a fight.
This is the easy part, right? Coming in the gym, right?
I say that all the time. I say the easiest part in boxing is getting in the ring and fighting. The hardest part is putting your personal life aside, training, sparring, putting your body through that hell. The easiest part for us is just get in the ring, let's fight for 30 minutes, get paid, let's move on. The easiest part is fighting.
That's when you just put the gloves on, like nobody can text you. No, I mean, you can't respond to anybody, right? Then you look at your phone. I've seen these fighters, because when I've been in gyms and you see guys are working out and then they're looking at their phone like, dude, why? What's wrong with you? Like, you have a fight in a couple weeks. You got to be locked in the entire time, man.
Yeah, man. And it's like, you know, another thing is it's the social media era, and who has a bigger social media following in the boxing biz than Ryan, you know. So it's a different aspect that fighters nowadays have to face, that you didn't have this problem a couple years ago.
That's a great point, Gabe, because we haven't really seen Ryan Garcia active on his Instagram and his Twitter.
Yeah.
The more inactive he is on social media, the more active he's going to be in the ring. We want to see inactive Ryan Garcia on social media. That's how we're going to get the best.
For sure.
Isn't it funny though? Last year we were all saying, "Stop with your social media." Now it's like, "Hey, where you at?" Because the public needs that content. I mean, there's few fighters. Again, he's a fighter who's never fought for a world title. He's never won a championship. So, and yet everybody is talking about him. Whether you love him or hate him, regardless though, they always say you don't ever want to be the vanilla one where people don't quite remember your name or anything like that. You love him or hate him. Like Mayweather had the same thing. They want people paid to watch him lose, right? They didn't, but you paid for the entertainment. Ryan brings that, Sergio.
He has two things you can't teach, and that's charisma and boxing. People love watching Ryan Garcia, whether it's training, whether he's acting crazy, whether he's on his best. That is something you can't teach. It's magnetic. You can't keep your eyes off him. And it's not only his looks, man. It's his character. It's his fighting style. It's what he's come through, and the different chapters that we're seeing, the different faces that we're seeing of Ryan Garcia. Will this last? Will this new, version of Ryan Garcia last? And will it, will it actually transpire into something great in the ring? We're gonna find out.
And even though Ryan is, hasn't become a world champion, he's beaten world champions, and he's knocked them out. Not just beat them, knocked them out. So, Ryan, I think when he started, he had that big following, and it was kind of like that YouTuber vibe, right? Like, is he like a YouTuber? Man, he's the real deal. He's the real deal, and he's only getting better.
You know how hard is it to punch that hard on a bag that's moving like that? That takes timing. This is another thing. See, we look at Ryan Garcia, we talk about speed, power, looks, all that other stuff. I can tell you, I can give you 10 shots at punching that hard at that bag like that. With one shot, Beto, you won't get it. It's very hard. It takes timing, man. It takes timing to do what he's doing.
Yeah, this is the gym, the bag that was developed in his house in Victorville. Here's some of the shots Ryan's working on that fierce reflex. If you're just joining us right now, earlier when we started the broadcast, we had Derek James training Ryan Garcia. We were interviewing him, and Sergio Mora asked him about, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I want to see something in the inside. Derek's like, I ain't saying nothing. And Derek made sure to come over right now and look right at you, Sergio Mora.
Yes, he did. And what did I say before he got here on the telecast? What are the things that I was pointing out that I see different already?
He was working on the inside.
The inside, the angles, not loading up on the punches. The footwork. I've never seen Ryan be so fleet-footed. The kid's actually using angles and actually touching instead of overloading on punches. I already seen the changes, Coach, just in that little workout that you showed us.
We're talking a little bit too much right now.
That's why we wanted Derek. Derek walked by and looked at us. You guys still on the air? Yes, Derek. Come on, Sergio.
No, I was just saying that, you want to be complete. And so you can be great boxing, you can be great doing this, great doing that. But this thing is going to happen. That thing is going to happen. You're going to be in the corner. You're going to be in the ropes. So you have to be able to master that position, master this position, master every position in the ring, to where when it happens, you don't even think about it. It just comes natural. So, you asked me about one thing, and I made sure I was thinking about you.
You showed your cards, man.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't show cards. Listen.
You just wanted to show.
No, he looks good.
You did that just for Sergio Mora.
I did it just for you.
Yeah.
I really did.
Now, is he doing a full workout, Derek?
No.
Just that right there?
It's just a workout.
He's done with you with the mitts.
No, we're done. We're finished.
All right.
We're finished. Yeah.
But he does look good, Derek James. This young man looking sharp right now.
Man, he's a good fighter.
Like a real trader. Like, you ain't going to give him too much credit.
No, I mean, he's good. He's good what he's supposed to be doing.
He's doing his job.
Just to be able to. Keep If I start talking, I'm gonna say too much. So
even hitting this back, I can tell the difference. He's already jabbing jabbing to the gut, and he's throwing little body shots, touching. Before, Ryan was all about left hook happy, jab, left hook happy, maybe throw a right hand. But now he's poking. Look, those are body shots right there, poking the body. Look at that jab to the body right there, bending his knees. That's another thing Ryan Garcia didn't do. He was flat-footed and stood real tall. You know, now he's bending his knees. Now he's touching to the body. Good job, Coach.
Hey, man, I'm not talking to you anymore.
Derek James, we're going to take that microphone away from you.
Take this mic,
Derek, one thing I noticed that I think the time off was actually a blessing in disguise.
Oh, yeah, no doubt, without a doubt.
Yeah, because, you know, you see a different kind of focus with Ryan right now where he appreciates the moment. Right. You know what I'm saying? Where he was probably taking it for granted. Is that something you noticed as a trainer?
I've noticed it, and it's something I can't speak on because you don't want, you know, it's going on. You don't want somebody to say, oh, you see that, right? So it's like, you can see it, but, you know, me being so close, I'm just like, it's going to let it keep flowing, you know? So, yeah, I mean, I think that time off and appreciation, right? Because then you really appreciate having that time off, having something taken away from you so dear like boxing. Then you'll be able to come back with a fury, and that's what tells you what kind of individual he really is. Because most guys come back, oh, they was gonna give it to me anyway. But no, he comes back like I had a fire, and you have him fighting Rolly with somebody who you can either beat him or he can knock you out, right? So you got to be able to be on point. You can't take him easy. You can't take because he's not a soft opponent. It's whoever if you don't show up, he's gonna show up regardless of whatever.
Yeah.
Derek James. I don't know. Didn't tell us too much, Sergio. Just enough.
Yeah, you know, I just got quiet.
No.
I think he's talking too much right now.
I'm giving the broadcast professional feel right here. As Ryan Garcia being a warrior. Derek, appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks. Get this microphone out my hand.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking too much. The coach says I'm
you doing your job.
I'm giving too much information.
I think we're going to send Sergio over to the workout. Where's Ryan going now? So let's see. Ryan done with the bag. Just looking around here. Again, May 2nd, Times Square is where you're going to see Ryan Garcia, Rolando Romero. You're also going to see Teofimo Lopez, Arnold Barbosa, Devin Haney, and Jose Ramirez. All that is brought to you by Ring Magazine. It'll be Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, live on the DAZN pay-per-view. Beth Duran, Sergio Mora, and Gabe Rosado. So if you want to make sure you listen to Migallo podcast with Abner Mars and Gabe Rosado.
Yeah.
The writer and the fighter.
No, fighter first. Fighter.
The fighter first.
And the writer. Yeah,
with Chris Mannix.
Let's not talk about him.
Trying to promote Mannix here.
Hey, listen, let's go back to Derek James a little bit. He got a little upset at me right now. He said
he walked right at you.
He came up to me and basically said that I'm talking about the things that they've been working on. The things that I pointed out, the body shots, he's not loading up on punches, how he's bending his knees, how he's moving his upper body. He's like, man, you talk too much. This is game plan.
Yeah.
You need to be quiet about it.
This is your job.
That's my job.
You're an analyst. You're analyzing.
But he got upset is what I'm trying to say about him.
I think he just kind of came over to be like, yeah, I told you. You want to question something?
I told you, but you need to, keep it under wraps.
Hey, Derek's got that persona where you don't know if he's playing or not.
That's my point. That's my point.
So I'm going to stay away from you. Now I know what Grisham goes through when you're around people there. You'll hear these two guys Saturday as Gabriela Fundora defends her undisputed belts Saturday live on DAZN from Oceanside. But there you see the Hall of Famer Oscar De La Hoya, the Golden Boy, founder of Golden Boy Promotions, and Ryan Garcia, who's back in the ring for the first time since he stopped Devin Haney last year. That'll be a good one. All right, so what do you see happening with the Rollies fight?
I think Ryan, you see appreciation for him to be back doing what he loves. You see him being like focused and work and not just throwing that big left hook, but just switching it up with different punches, like Sergio said, bending his knees, using the angles. So I think, man, he wants to show off. He wants to let the world know, like, y'all thought I was done, like I'm coming back even better. So I think Ryan's coming back to make a statement, and I think that he wants to show how much better he's gotten because he wants that rematch with Haney. So he's making a point, not just to knock out Rolly, but to show Haney, like, I'm even going to come back better.
You know, in boxing, there's a saying, you don't hook with a hooker. This is how I see this fight going, Beto. You didn't ask me, but I'm telling you.
Oh, well, I was going to ask you, but you're a pro. You took the question. Nice.
The fact that Rolly Romero swings his punches really wide. They're really hard, but the technique lacks a little bit. Ryan Garcia throws it really sharp. It's like a whip. It could be on the outside. It could be on the inside. I could see this fight being quick, a 3-round destruction. Who lands a left hook first? I'm going to go on Ryan Garcia landing that left hook a little bit faster than Rolly, but it's going to be with a hook. Someone's going to get knocked out by a hook, and I'm edging it to Ryan Garcia.
Especially the way that he just has a different mentality right now. Something about this kid seems different. And we've all had our ups and downs with Ryan Garcia, but it seems like that year layoff has helped him out. We'll see him live May 2nd, the main event from Times Square in Manhattan. All right, Sergio Mora, Gabe Rosado, make sure you listen to their podcast. It's been a great time here in San Diego. This weekend, they'll be on the Gabriela Fundora broadcast live on DAZN. Again, the fight is going to be brought to you, Fatal Fury, City of Wolves, is Ring Magazine's inaugural American event, Friday, May 2nd. Ring Magazine, SNK Corporation, who founded the Fatal Fury game, Oscar De La Hoya's Golden Boy Promotions, Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, Bob Arum of Top Rank, and Tom Brown of TGB Promotions, broadcast live exclusively on DAZN worldwide. So that'll be May 2nd. This weekend, Gabriela Fundora against Badillo, and also Charles Conwell. Woo-wee in the Kona men.
Finally getting his time in the limelight. Conwell's been underrated for a long time, man. I mean, this is a U.S. Olympian, a guy that needed a platform, needed a big show. This is his time to show out.
That dude is dangerous. Oh, for sure. He comes in. Ooh, that'll be a good one. He'll be co-main. And the broadcast will get going at 2 o'clock. So it'll be 10 fights total, 5 on the YouTube portion. I'll be on the broadcast with Eric Priest. And then at 5 o'clock live on DAZN, Grisham, Mora, and Rosado will take you home for the Fundora fight. For everybody behind the scenes and Oscar De La Hoya, I'm Beto Duran. Thanks for watching. Goodbye from San Diego.
Live on DAZN Worldwide, April 26th. A legendary rivalry is reborn. Chris Eubank Jr. versus Conor Benn. Born rivals, battle is in their blood. Fighting for the name, the honor, the legacy. It's finally time to settle the score. Eubank Jr. versus Benn, April 26th. Available soon at DAZN.com/boxing.
Hello people, me again. Fight week on DAZN is non-stop action. Access all areas of the biggest fights. That and so much more, even before the bell rings.
47 years of promoting boxing. What a ride it's been. I was 23 years old at the time. I got an invite from the Boxing Board of Control to take a licence out. Back then, it was all run by the cartel.
We have a new promoter in British Championship Boxing, Frank Warren.
People liked it, I think, the fact that someone was taking the cartel on. I've never been afraid about shaking things up and working with new media.
This is a bit of a dream come true.
Pay-per-view, satellite TV.
Very proud of Amir. What he done was fantastic.
Bringing shows in from America Live. I've been lucky enough to promote some of the biggest names in boxing.
I'd like to thank Mr. Frank Warren for having me over here.
Just when you think it can't get any bigger, my mobile rang. We get this call from His Excellency Turki Al-Sheikh. Off we went to the races. I'm as competitive as my fighters, and I fight for my fighters. I'm always looking for the next challenge, and I know there's one there now.
Queensbury arrives at the home of boxing, DAZN, multi-year deal. Let's go.
This is a company that is devoted to boxing. They have a worldwide platform. And for us, that is very, very important to do what Queensbury is doing, to be expanding and building, working together for the betterment of boxing, as I believe it will be.
I welcome all. That's what I'm boxing for, to show them why you're the greatest.
I'm one of the best, if not the best in the division, so that's what I got to do.
Oh, she couldn't handle that.